weaponized anxiety to control me for 26 years, so I gave her a real reason to panic. My mother discovered panic attacks got her whatever she wanted. She used them on Dad when he mentioned divorce. She used them on relatives who criticized her. She used them on me whenever I tried to leave. First was when I applied to colleges out of state and she couldn't breathe for hours. Then when my friend offered me a room and she ended up in an ambulance. When I recently packed boxes, she performed her biggest attack yet. At 18, I got into my dream college 6 hours away. My mother saw the acceptance letter and collapsed with breathing problems. She refused the hospital but made me stay up all night watching her gasp on the couch. I withdrew my application by morning and went to community college instead. My best job opportunity came at 23 with full relocation assistance. I told my mother at dinner and she clutched her chest screaming for an ambulance. 5 hours in the ER and every test came back normal. The doctor said he'd seen this manipulation before. I missed the deadline to accept and lost the position. Last year, Jamie offered her spare room at perfect rent near my workplace. My mother heard about it while we shopped for groceries and staged a collapse by the cereal. The whole store watched her performance while paramedics arrived. Other shoppers looked at me like I was heartless for staying calm. Jamie rented to someone else during the chaos. I finally saw the pattern clearly when I caught her at yoga the morning after an attack. She ran marathons and collected disability checks for panic disorder she didn't have. Yet I always responded to her emergencies terrified that ignoring the real one would kill her. 3 months ago, my father had a real heart attack. His wife called saying he was asking for me before surgery. I grabbed my keys, but my mother appeared clutching her chest and dropped to her knees gasping. Please don't leave me alone. I think this is the big one, she wheezed. 26 years of conditioning won. I called 911 for her instead of going to Dad. 6 hours in the ER for her clean bill of health were the 6 hours my father died alone. His funeral letter explained how she'd used fake attacks throughout their marriage. She'd faked illness during his mother's funeral and ruined his promotions. He warned me not to let her steal my life like she stole his. My aunt saw her eating at the mall hours after her emergency. When I confronted her, she shrugged. At least you don't have to waste time visiting him anymore. She asked about his will immediately. He left me money for independence. She suggested using it for her medical bills. That moment broke something inside me permanently. I spent 2 weeks building her destruction with meticulous care. Her medicine cabinet exposed the truth with 3 full bottles of anxiety medication never taken. My surveillance revealed her exact pattern. Panic attacks occurred only when I sought independence or faced criticism. She did morning yoga and ran marathons between hospital visits. Every attack was calculated manipulation. Hidden in her closet were letters about her mother's assisted living death. Page after page revealed pathological fear of those facilities. She'd written endlessly about preferring death to institutional care. I had my weapon. Father's inheritance paid for an elder fraud specialist. His widow documented decades of fake emergencies destroying Dad's life. I felt cold emptiness assembling evidence against my own mother. She created this version of me through years of manipulation. Now I'd give her exactly what she feared most. Tuesday morning, I ended her reign. I'm using Dad's inheritance to finally become independent. It was his final wish, I announced while displaying my signed lease. Her response was predictable but spectacular. She threw herself down with violent convulsions and gagging noises that would have impressed Hollywood. Her hands clawed at her chest while her feet kicked against the tiles. Peak performance for her final show. I didn't move except to document each detail in my notebook with clinical precision. My call to adult protective services was calm and matter of fact. Explained my mother's panic disorder had escalated beyond my capabilities. Mentioned she was currently in crisis on our kitchen floor. The social worker arrived to find mother still in character, writhing and gasping. This social worker had decades of experience with manipulation. She immediately arranged a family intervention that became mother's judgment day. I laid out evidence systematically. Spreadsheets tracking every fake attack against my independence attempts. Pharmacy records showing 3 practitioners prescribing unused anxiety medication. My aunt's testimony about mall dining during Dad's final hours cracked the case wide open. Family members found courage to share their own stories. Every wedding, birthday, and funeral she'd ruined with fake emergencies. The room turned against her completely. When I revealed assisted living brochures, she actually stopped breathing for real. The trap was perfect. Admitting her lies meant fraud, prosecution, and prison. Continuing the act meant institutional supervision forever. Her greatest fear realized either way. I felt nothing watching her panic become genuine. She'd killed my father and my sympathy. She's been in the facility 3 months. Staff recognizes manipulation instantly. I visit 30 minutes weekly. The irony is perfect. She has real anxiety now about exposure. I live freely in my apartment with Dad's photo displayed. Yesterday, I brought flowers to his grave and whispered that I'm finally free.